So we're just about to conclude season 8, Taking Care of Business. We've done 7 podcasts so far. We have 1 more to go, which I'm hoping to announce anytime soon, which is a special for the finale. When I kicked off the podcast, it was about showcasing the different characters, the different personalities that we deal with on a day-to-day in Sedulo, within our kind of ecosystem, our community. And I wanted to share those mindsets that were quite common running throughout. Some of the more successful, if you like, or some of the people who've shown the most resilience within our organisation. And season 8 has done that. Season 8 has done that. If you look at who we've had on, they're all very different individuals. But there's a common theme throughout of mindset and positive approach and overcoming that adversity. We started with Paul Smith, actually, a Liverpool boxer, former world title challenger. And what interested me most about his podcast was those usual fears that we get every day, those anxieties, those stresses, those fears, Paul actually searched for in order to get peak and elite performance. And I found that podcast very interesting. Number 2, we had Karina, founder of Menagerie, the restaurant. And again, overcoming adversity. She's owned a restaurant in the middle of the coronavirus pandemic, but she wasn't down. She talked openly and she talked positively about how she'd used it to create new opportunities for her in the future and how she was approaching the future with buoyancy in Menagerie. Number 3 was Mental Health Awareness Week, and we had a guy called James Lindemann on who had suffered real mental illness in the past and overcome it, of course, but talked openly again about his suicidal thoughts and how over years he's been able to bounce back from that and show that resilience. So that was a good one for Mental Health Awareness Week. Number 4 was Heather Small. Heather was, she's an icon, so to have her on was a great privilege. But it was also great to hear her backstory, a young black woman growing up in London, and what it was like for her growing up, and how she had to overcome that adversity and those discriminations. And to be honest with Heather, it's just a fantastic story and a fantastic ending. She's a global icon, so it's a privilege to have her on. Number 5 was Human 24. This is Phil Learney and Jason Rickaby. Jason was ex-PhD nutrition. Phil is the owner of Advanced Coaching Academy. But they talked about something that has interested me for years, which is everyday 24-hour human performance. How to be a good dad, a good husband, a good wife, a good sister, brother, whatever it is, but a good person and a good leader. And they talked about all the disciplines that's required in order to achieve that. 6 was Fes Batista, a boxer from Huddersfield, who talked again so openly about suicide. There's no other way to describe it. He talked about his suicidal thoughts and how he bounced back, but he didn't just bounce back from that. He then decided to become a boxer, and rather than go the normal way, did it an extraordinary way by getting on a flight to Las Vegas, going into Floyd Mayweather's gym and starting to fight and spar some of the top world-class fighters without that pedigree. And finally, number 7 was Andy Grant, coincided with our Liverpool launch. He is Mr. Liverpool. If you want to hear about his story, which is amazing, he's on season 1. But season 7, we talked a little more than anything about organisations. He's a Liverpool fan, as everybody will know, and he's just so embraced in the organisation that Liverpool have created over the last 5 or 6 years with the leader Jurgen Klopp. So we talked a lot about that. And we brought in a bit of Everton, we brought a bit of Manchester City, Manchester United, but it wasn't a football podcast. It was about creating world-class organisations and how Klopp has even made the fans feel like they're part of a world-class organisation. So I thought there's a lot of lessons in there for business leaders. And that's it, that's season 8 wrapped up almost, 7 episodes done, and we have 1 more which I'm hoping to announce soon, which will be the finale.